Let's adjourn to the dressing room and see about your disguise, shall we? The appropriate facial hair adorns the bust before you. Ah, yes, very mercenary indeed. You'll fit right in with those brutes. Now then, you better be off to deal with Seika, hadn't you?
Hi, Jimmy. Back from killing some dwellers? Come on in.
You been up to much lately?
Nah.
Nah, me neither. I sometimes wish I'd joined me dad with a family business.
Why didn't you?
Well, I never saw myself as a sugar salesman. And it wasn't really feasible after I killed him and all.
Jim.
Jimmy! Over here, mate! Don't be shy, Jimmy. Come on over. All right, Jim, how's things? You been drinking in Brightwall again? And don't let anybody tell you drinking alone is wrong. That's some of the best times I've had. Anyway, in you go then, mate.
Got it. Jimmy, that really you? You look different somehow. Were your eyes always that colour?
Nah, Jimmy's got periwinkle eyes like a beautiful summer morning sky. That's not him!
It's not Jimmy!
Die, dog, die!
Incoming, lads! You magicking deviant! Look at... Open the gates! I need reinforcements!
Oh, lad, I bet you think that's how...
That shooting will kill you, you know.
This one's too big for his boots, but we're gonna cut him down to size. Well done! Kill the Jimmy impersonator! Stop shooting our boys, you moon-faced baboon! Spells? I'm not afraid of you. I am a squad. A right menace with that gun. Seems like we've got this one solo, Ben. Ready to die?
Leave him! He's mine! You've left quite a trail of bodies. You're not one of Sabine's dwellers, that's for damn sure. But you'll die like one. You've won. This battle is yours. Kill me or let me live, it's your choice. And my men will honor it. We may be nothing but mercenaries, but we have our codes, like any other soldiers. We'll leave the dwellers be, no matter what you do. That is a warrior's promise. Thank you. I won't forget this. Let the stranger go!
You have taken another step on the road to rule. Sparing Seika has won over the support of his followers. Word is already spreading of your compassion and your strength.
It is a momentous occasion, sir. Your first victory in battle. I'm no expert on personal combat, but I would say, based on the fact that you're not dead, you acquitted yourself rather well. It's hard to believe that just a few days ago I was rousing you from a comfortable bed. It would seem that you have completed 2 of the tasks that Sabine set for you. If you return to Brightwall, you will find Sir Walter has some news on how to fulfill the last requirement. Sir Walter is still waiting for you in the Brightwall Tavern. He seems to have become rather attached to...
Got too much gear? Sell it to me.
What's this? There's a chicken feather in my beer. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Ah, here he is. We were just talking about you.
Indeed. We have made a toast to your stupendous feat in ridding Misspeak of Seika and his men. They have been a source of great distress for some time.
Nobody will be more pleased than Sabine. His dwellers might find some peace now.
Of course. Nobody has suffered more than they.
I've been telling Samuel here about the terrible situation they're in. He thinks he may be able to help.
Yes, well, perhaps. I mean, of course. The thing is, as I was just explaining to Sir Walter, Brightwall has no overabundance of resources itself. The King's levies are rather steep, and we face shortages more often than is comfortable.
But
Were you to improve things around Brightwall, the people would be most grateful. And when people are grateful, they're also charitable. I'm sure they would find it in their hearts to send aid to those poor people.
there you have it. The way I see it, you will need all the followers you can get if you're going to lead a successful rebellion. What better time to start?
I heartily agree with Sir Walter. Pardon me for overhearing. As it happens, I've learned of a promising method for amassing followers. If you'll return to the sanctuary at your earliest convenience, I can show you what I mean. Now, the book says there is an additional rather amazing capability about the sanctuary's map table. It can help you find people who are in need of a hero. An excellent way to gain followers is by helping villagers in need. Take a closer look at Brightwall and I will explain more. You can now see the villagers in need. You can also see how many followers you must amass to impress Samuel and the people of Brightwall. Select a villager to help. By doing so, you will gain the respect and loyalty of others in the region. Having difficulty deciding? You may be able to help the others later, but you must start with someone.
Oh, pinch, you foul, vile fiend! You uncouth wretch! You, good sir, you who live in such a tumultuous epoch. Ah, you will find the legendary lost play? Splendid!
Finally, tragedy and comedy will come together as they should.
Turn back now, mortal one. Stay away from this
Only
death
place.
and insanity await you. Don't pick it up! No, really, I'm serious. You lot just can't leave well enough alone, can you? Bloody literary tourists, bane of my afterlife. Listen, you. You're not getting my lost plate, you hear? It's rubbish. Worse than rubbish. I mean, what was I thinking mixing tragedy and comedy? I must have been off my rocker.
It would seem, my dear fellow, you have been apprehended by the ghost of Philip Morley. That makes us both his captives. I am Ransom Locke. If the name seems familiar, it is because I was once a detective of some renown. And yet, here I am, ready to live out the rest of my days, trapped in a book. As far as I can deduce, we are currently in a scene from one of Morley's greatest romantic plays, the near tragedy of Oliver and Ethel. I believe if we are to escape, we must act out the scene. But performing is not one of my talents. If I am correct, putting on this costume should set things in motion.
Oh, Ethel, my love, my life, my son. If thou wouldst but give me one sign, one gesture that would speak of your affections, then might I think this grey existence worth living.
Ah, yes, a classic moment in the play. You are Ethel, the beautiful young daughter of a dung merchant. Show Oliver that you love him, and we may be able to leave this scene.
Drop dead!
Oh, woe! What cruel darts doth strike my intemperate soul!
Shove it, fatty!
Stop! Thou hast driven a dagger into my breast and ended all hope of happiness. Thusly, I must end my life.
Hark! A shadow approaches. Take me!
And so I die.
Well, it's an unorthodox reading of the text, but one cannot argue with the results.
I see you are gifted with remarkable literary cunning, but can you really comprehend the depths of my work? That we shall see.
Ah, yes. This is undoubtedly a scene from one of Morley's earlier, funnier plays, Bloodbath at the Royal Court. And this must be your costume. The role of the fool is one filled with tragic depth. It will require a masterful performance.
What fresh insolence is this? Out of my throne, you impertinent buffoon! Stand before your king, and do your jester's duty. 'Tis a troublesome time for this court, and my crown grows heavy. So make me laugh, or I shall have your head.
You look so cute in that crown.
Why, Jester, I had no idea you felt that way about me. Or is this another one of your japes?
Ah.
So it's true! You do love me! You have no idea how difficult it's been watching you strut about in those magnificent feathers, how much I've wanted you! Then it is settled. Tomorrow we shall wed, and let anyone who frowns upon our union have his head cut off.
Well, it's certainly a radical interpretation of the text, but effective nonetheless.
You handle my royal dramas as well as you handle my romances. But will your versatility extend to the more subtle domains of theatre, I wonder?
Oh dear. Unless I'm mistaken, this is a scene from Morley's notoriously violent historical epic, Titus the Mutilator, Part 2, which would mean this is the gladiatorial arena from Act 5, where Titus is finally slaughtered by savage warriors seeking revenge. A favorite scene of mine as a child, I must admit. And here is Titus's famous costume. I had some pajamas that looked just like it. Put it on and you will take on the greatest role of your life.
Titus! Thy pox-membered body shall pay for thy monstrous villainy. My son lies dead because of you. Now shall revenge be mine. Cold as your corpse and all the more flavoursome for it.
Do try to make your demise convincing.
Bloody beggar, aren't you, boy? What you doing fighting the likes of us?
More of my kin lie slain, and yet you live. You have breathed your last sulphur-scented breath, Titus. rights denied, my world undone. I cannot stand to live 1 second more.
Oh, what scene could possibly follow such a masterful rendition of my work? And the way you improvised some of those roles, you brought new life to my words. I stand in awe. You have earned the prize no mortal has ever been honored with before. My missing play. I entrust it to you, for I know that you will do it justice. I call it the Ham Sandwich. A metaphorical title, of course.
Ah, you have retrieved our aged investigator. Happy day! Have you, perchance, found...
This is no time for perchances, Lambert. The play. Do you have it? We're saved, Lambert.
Oh, the joy in my bosom knows no bounds! Thank you 1,000,000 times! Thank you!
He said bosom. It's already working. Comedy and tragedy will at last join hands.
Hark. Bear witness to the tragic futility that is man. Oh, how it doth sear my senses to see paradise and yet to be barred.
That reminds me of a great joke. A guard, a monk, and a chicken walk into a bar. Unfortunately, the bartender had a mild heart attack that morning, so none of them get served.
And yet what purpose doth heartache serve when the infinite dark blanket that is death falls softly upon our still beating corpse?
That reminds me of another one. A corpse walks into a bar and says, "Can I have a lemonade?" "Certainly," replies the bartender. "I've never seen a stiff drink."
And so endeth our happy sad play, which reminds us we are made of nothing but clay. There's time only for our fool to say,
"Great big giant bosoms!"
What the hell was that?
Biggest load of old tosh I ever saw. It didn't even make sense.
Worst play ever.
So, what shall you do now, Mr. Locke? Any more mysteries on the horizon?
I rather think not. My powers of reasoning and deduction diminish with each passing day. Investigation is a young man's game.
How would you like to take acting lessons?
Is it true what they say about adventurers' hands? You know, the bigger their hands, the bigger the sword they have.
My word! Can't you afford any better clothes than those rags? Simply stupendous!
Oh, yes! Oh, quite superb. Oh, is that what you like?
Yip, yip, yippee!
Yeah!
indeedy!
Yep, that's the ticket.
Yay! Yes, sirree!
Rah, rah, rah!
So, have you been out and about exploring the world then?
If you can find better prices anywhere, then I shan't be surprised if you shop there instead.
Yes, indeedy! All right! You're going to make me blush.
Feel free to browse. Feel even freer to buy.
Oh, you're everything a girl like me could want, and a bit more.
Oh, yeah! We had a couple of rough patches, but at the moment we're doing okay.
Yay!
I admire your courage in going on the road and that, but really, what's the point?
With your money? Spend it on ale.
So why did you go into adventuring?
Please!
Thank you.
Oh, I hope you can get that tattoo off. Trousers off, now. And it's not...
I have no doubt. Dare I say...
Oh, this is terrible. Somehow the gate got open. Right, you'll need this. Contrary to what most people think, chickens are very, very crafty. They won't fall for any of that. Come here, chickie, chickie, I've got some lovely treats for you. Oh no, too smart. You have to defeat them psychologically.
You might have a look in the sanctuary shop. I'm quite certain there is something new in there. You have several new suits. Those will make...
Now, they won't remain one concentrated force. You're doing great. We can't afford any mistakes now, or the entire operation will be compromised. Use the chickens to get them to follow you.
my dear Bernard. One of these days, the chicken god is going to come down from his celestial coop in the sky and peck out your eyes. So there! Yours sincerely, Arthur.
Add some character to your face with my famous beards.
That's lovely. Just keep doing what you're doing. And no matter what, don't show them any fear.
Let me clothe you. You won't regret it.
Finally, a little money coming into this town. A little's even coming through my door.
That's all of them. At last, the town can rest easy.
Oh, Bernard, you've got to lock them up again. This isn't right. They deserve to be free.
You're always on about the chickens and their freedom. You know what I think? I think it was you let them out.
You're right. I admit it. I couldn't live with myself any longer being complicit in this chicken oppression.
But they might have destroyed the entire town. Possibly the world.
They might have gone off to live peacefully on their own. They might have created great works of art or literature. We don't know. And we have no right to take away their fundamental liberties based on our own prejudices.
Well, now it's clear taking away their liberties isn't enough. I have to assume you'll try to facilitate another escape. And that means the only choice is to kill them all.
Oh, no, Bernard! No, don't! All right, keep them locked up. At least so we can talk about this.
You will. All right. We'll let them live. But only if you swear never to let them out again.
All right, all right. We'll work this out.
I hope I haven't made a terrible mistake. But if I killed them, I would just make them martyrs.
Well done. You have gathered quite an impressive following in
just don't know
Brightwall.
about this.
This should be
It's
more
what's
than enough
best
to convince
for
this little hamlet to send
the
aid
right
to
thing
the
to do.
dwellers.
I wish I could believe
I believe
that.
Samuel awaits
I
you
really
at the town
do.
gates to
Now
express
we
that
just
very
have to
sentiment.
figure out a compromise.
Haven't I compromised enough?
Ah, hello. I trust you are finding everything all right? Anyone can dress as a prince, but no one pulls it off quite as you do.
We need to figure out a way the chickens can get the most out of it.
We had a couple of rough patches, but at the moment we're doing okay.
We've got something for every budget.
Esteemed citizens of Brightwall, today we demonstrate the generous nature of our fair town. For too long have our mountain neighbors suffered in silence, and now we extend a helping hand. But this effort would not have been possible without the courage and determination of one man, the son of the old hero king. From this day, we shall know you as the hero of Brightwall. Before you leave, we ask of you one favor. As we pledge ourselves to you, so we hope you will pledge to return Brightwall to its former glory and reopen the academy which your father founded.
I will.
Very good, very good. I expected nothing less from you. These volunteers shall carry the supplies to the dweller camp. They may have them with our blessing. I hope you will return one day, not just as our hero, but as our king.